Waterford for what looked like a very difficult semi-final in the Regional Sports Centre. The first ever semi-final at the venue, where Waterford had already beaten Shamrock Rovers and Drogheda United in earlier rounds. And there was a huge crowd to see one of the biggest soccer matches in the southeast for quite some time.
8,500 people packed Waterford's regional sports ground in anticipation of Tommy Lynch's charges reliving the good old days. But they were silenced after just 2 minutes. Tony Sheridan whipped in the first corner of the game, mass confusion reigned, and Dave Campbell's glancing header was adjudged to have crossed the line. The perfect start for the visitors, disaster for the underdogs at such an early stage. The Waterford keeper John Grace in his defence at 6s and 7s, Campbell's header judged to have crossed the line by linesman Eddie Foley, and there seemed to be little complaint. So shell-shocked were Waterford that it took some 20 minutes before they had their first shot on target. Colin Fanning with a speculative effort, which never really troubled Alan Goff. Mark Rutherford was a constant thorn in the side of Waterford, and after 22 minutes he almost brought about Shell's second. A lovely run down the left and a deft pass almost unlocked the door for Declan Gagan, but some excellent covering by Tommy Lynch saved the day. John Grace in the Waterford goal, thankful for the last-ditch tackle from his player-manager. Shelbourne began to turn on the style thereafter and created numerous opportunities. Neville to Vodacam, the Frenchman's cross parried by Grace and cleared in the nick of time by Lynch. Shell's pressure converted into a second goal on the half hour. A tenacious and committed Desi Baker set up a 1-2 with Vodacam. Baker's looping cross looked to be in the arms of Grace, but he spilled it and Mark Rutherford pounced. A moment to forget for John Grace, but Rutherford's finish was clinical. At that point, many expected Waterford to crack, but how wrong we were. Almost directly from the restart, they were back in contention. Some wonderful control and awareness from Darren Brown gave him the space to unleash a great shot. Alan Goff had little chance with this superb effort. Brown could have brought Waterford level just before the break. A long speculative ball from Joe Reynolds found Lynch. He beat the offside trap and delivered a great cross, but somehow Brown conspired to miss at the far post. So 2-1 to Shells, and the promise of an enthralling second half in store. 8 minutes into the half, Shells and Rutherford were again on the attack. Another tricky run from Rutherford eventually created space for Stephen Gagan. His shot was just inches wide. The Shell striker, just back from Macedonia, losing none of his sharpness while on international duty. A minute later, Rutherford again broke down the left and delivered a telling cross. This time it was Desi Baker who arrived just too late to convert Shell's third. Waterford's first chance of the second half was created more in hope than in direct play. A ball from the back from Tony Hall was pounced upon by Donald Golden. His looping cross had Alan Goff under immense pressure, but the keeper kept his nerve despite the presence of Brown to clear to safety. Not an easy ball for Goff to deal with, but he was equal to the task. As the half wore on, Shelbourne became more defensive and Waterford had ample opportunity to draw level. 20 minutes before the end, substitute Trond Debes set Brown on his way, but he shot wildly over and should have done better. Alan Reynolds provided the next chance for Waterford moments later, but this time Debes and the bumpy surface conspired to stave off Waterford's challenge. Just look again at the moment of contact, the ball takes an ugly bounce and Gagan is able to clear. Waterford's final opportunity came in injury time. The long throw from Reynolds caused momentary panic. Brown had a chance, but he missed the target. Inches separating Waterford from extra time, but Shelbourne held firm for a 2-1 win. They now go to their third successive cup final.
Very disappointed considering the 2 goals we gave them, really. I thought it was great credit. We got a great goal of our own. And in the second half, really, we had very good chances and just didn't take them. But that's the way it goes.
We played some very constructive football. We created numerous chances, and if we'd have taken even a reasonable percentage of chances, we would have won the game quite comfortably. Having said that, I have to credit Waterford. They kept going right to the very end. Even into injury time, they could have snatched an equaliser. But it's a thrilling performance, a thrilling cup tie in the best tradition.
So Shelbourne will play Derry City in a repeat of the 1995 final. For Derry, it's their third final in 4 years. For Shells, it's their third final in a row. The cup specialist of recent times meet head-to-head once more. And the final take place on Bank Holiday Monday, the 5th of May in Lansdowne Road. And of course, we'll be bringing you live coverage of the game beginning at 2:45.